Welcome back, everyone. Am I audible properly? I hope my shared content is also visible now. So, in the last session, we discussed about JWT and we have seen why do we need JWT? Because by default, we will get a RESTful authentication. RESTful authentication means the backend or the front end, or you can say in the simple terms that backend will try to store the login credentials. And we have seen the example as well for it, in which you are seeing that backend was allowing the user to check all the data even after the password is changed, app is restarted, in that sense, which is not good because of the security reasons. So we are going to discuss about JWT, and it is like bit complex, but we'll go slow, we'll understand it. So JWT stands for JSON Web Token, and JSON itself stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So technically, whenever JSON word is coming, we're talking about REST APIs only, generally, right? Whenever this JSON word is coming, we are technically talking about APIs. Now, what this JSON will do? Let me save the file first. Okay. So what it does, JWT enables the rest, enables the stateless authentication. And in the last class, we have seen what is stateful authentication, where the values were getting stored in Spring Boot with a session ID, and those values were getting verified even after those values does not exist. So JWT stands for JavaScript Object Nation Web Token, and it enables the stateless authentication. Working of JWT. What does JWT takes, or how it works? So what is we are going to do is, let's say this is a client, and client means user. This is a client, and here we do have our server. This is our client, and this is our server, right? Now, how the general communication goes, it goes in a very simple way. Very simple way means in the first go, a client will do the login request. A client is trying to make the login request slash login, and user is also sending, user is actually making a post request, post to slash login. And what user is posting? Two things: that my username is admin and my password is also admin. So like that, a user is trying to make a post request. What user is doing? At first, you will make a post request to the server. Then what server will do here? At first, server will verify the credentials and generate one token for the user. So at first, the server will check. What server will check? Server will check if the username as admin and the password as admin is valid or not. Those two things are valid or not. So once the server is done by checking, then after, server will return a token. Server will return a token. Server will return token. It will be a string generally. So here server is returning one token to the client. Now what client will do? Here client is accepting the token. And there is a rule of JWT in all the API calls. In all the API calls, the client has to send the token as a or as an authentication proof. As an authentication proof. What is the security here? The security is the token will expire after a certain period of time. The token will expire after a certain period of time, and it is sure it will expire. Now, let's say user has got the token. What happened is user has got the token. Now, user will try to make one get request. User is trying to make one get request. Let's say something endpoint is available there. So user will try get from slash welcome. There is one endpoint, means there is one method which is accepting the get mapping of slash welcome. When you are making the get request, you are already logged in, right? You are already logged in, but then also along with the request, you have to send the token that okay, this is coming from a valid resource. Now, when this request is going to Spring, Spring means server here. Server will check the validity of token. If it is valid, then server will give resource. Otherwise, it will give error. And generally, it gives 403 error. And by the way, I have told you what is 403. Shankar, what is 403? Like 404 is very common, not found, right? What is 403? 403 is forbidden. What is 403? 403 is forbidden. So this is how actually JWT works. Just a simple architecture. So here the entire game is played by that particular token itself. And that is the working of JWT. Now we will go to its official website, that is jwt.io. And I have already told you that this was a PhD research paper of a scientist. Again, I forgot the name. Hmm, It is written John here. So John, huh? John Doe is a like normal thing. Let me check where this one. M. Jonas. So it was a Microsoft employee. Now, what we are getting from this particular website. So let me remove all these things. You will be seeing these kind of things. Now, what is this algorithm? Here we are using HS256 algorithm, type is JWT. I will do it in programming because here it becomes a little bit of confusing. Here name is this, admin, IAT is this, and lot of things are there. So let's try to implement it in programming, because understanding JWT in words is like quite difficult. If you want a proper documentation about it, so you can go to a document of Medium, this one. If you have a habit of reading, then only this is good for you. So like this is the architecture, like this. Like if you want to read, you can read. Like structure of JSON web token, and this is how it looks like. At first it will have header, it will have payload, it will have signature. Now all these things are visible here also. Header, payload, and at last signature. But we can't understand anything here. So let's do it programmatically. I'll just write this thing. Structure of JSON web token. It has three part: header, payload, and signature. Now what we are going to use, we are going to creating, or you can say integrating JWT with Spring Boot. What we will do here, we will integrate JWT with Spring Boot. So at first we will start by creating a project. Create a Spring Starter project by adding the dependency of Spring Web DevTools Lombok. Okay, like this. There are other dependencies also, but if we are adding them at the runtime, there will be a confusion for you. I will add these after creating the project. And all these three things, Spring Web for a controller, REST controller, DevTools, so that we don't have to restart, Lombok for getter setters. So simple. So we'll quickly close all these files and let it get load first. So we will create a project that is Spring Boot JWT, and we are not deploying it. So Java 21 we will use, and com.jwt is the group ID. Com.jwt is the package name. Next, Spring Web, Spring Boot DevTools, and Lombok, Spring Security. Yes. Wait. Spring Security and all these things. Just make it finish. Now in this, you have to add three different dependency, because a JSON web token will have three things: header, payload, and sign. What are these? We will discuss. But for working with it, we have to use three dependencies here. So we will go to our website, that is Maven repository. right? And inside this, just search for JWT API. Okay. What you have to search? JWT API. So not this one. Just search here JSON token. I'll tell you. So none of them are getting. Okay, so let's go back to our pom.xml file. There I will tell you. No. So how to identify whether these are correct or not? This is the official website jwt.io. Now, whatever dependencies we have to use must be starting with IO in case of JWT. And here we are not able to get those dependencies that are starting with IO. Some of the fake are also there. So we'll just check it in Spring Boot here. Go to pom.xml. So just let it get load. And here you will get this option like this, add Spring Boot starters. So let it get load first. And here JWT Spring Security. Just search here JSON. Hmm. So one is this one io.json web token, which is currently available as JJWT-API. In that you can use any of the previous version. So this is the highest used version with the 261. So we can go with it. One dependency is this. Sometimes it is difficult to find, so I'll provide it to you. So let's wait. The one dependency that we are using here is this one. io.json web token jjwt-api. One is this one. Save. Now we have to use the same one for implementation as well. So that will be JJWT hyphen implementation, or you can say IMPL. Search if you are able to get it. JJWT hyphen IMPL. So here we got it. And whatever version you were using for the last one, here also you have to use the same version without any change. If you are using 0.11.5, same here. Now we have added JWT API, JWT's implementation. Now one more we need, that we need for Jackson. We were talking about Jackson API. What is Jackson API? What it does? Sorry, loudly. It can give APIs in XML format. So not only XML format, it is used to convert Java object to JSON object and JSON to Java. That is also it will do. So here you will get JJWT Jackson. And here also use the same version 0.11.5. So these are the three dependencies that you have to add. Save, and I'll provide the same thing in the documentation as well. In the next step, add the following dependencies in the pom.xml. What is the full form of pom? Shrikar, plain object model. Hmm. Project object model. What is the full form of POJO? Very good. So here you have to add these three dependencies. One for JWT API, one for JWT implementation, and one for Jackson. The next thing, you have to create some of the packages using base package. Our base package is pom.jwt. One package create here as config. One package create as config. Second, as usual, entity, and one as controller, one as controller. Config, because we are writing one security config file. Entity means we will create class here. Controller means we will be having APIs here. Service also you can create here. So using the base package, you can create service package as well, because we will show you the clear cut out. And two more you have to create for JWT. One as util. Here we will provide the utilities of JWT, and one more package as filter, which will filter out the things. So by using the base package, see, already I told it is bit complex to understand, but you can do by revising it 2-3 times. So config, controller, entity, filter, service, and util, that you have to create by using the base package. Create entity, comma, controller, comma, util, comma, config, comma, filter, comma, and which one we left? One, two, three, four, five, six. Service. Service is always Service is always like optional. You can remove it if you want. Otherwise, like no problem. You can keep it. So by using the base package, we have to create these many packages. Now, what we will do? At first, we have to write the basic things. So inside the controller, this is our controller. Inside this, what I will do, I will create a class. Now you can give it a controller here like auth controller or home controller because we are focusing on auth here. So here we are writing auth controller and marking it as REST controller, and just create one method here which will be accepting the get mapping of public string welcome. Here we will return one string that this is a protected welcome message, right? Like this. And let's start our main application just to test it. What happened? Said something, Shrikar? Okay. Now we will just start. So as we are using Spring Security, so it will generate one basic username and password kind of thing. Okay. So this is like your password. Username is user by default. Now we will go to our browser. You can go to Postman as well. I will go to localhost 8080 and we will hit the welcome page. Typing the username as user, typing the password as password, and some problem. Okay, get mapping should have the path. So now we are getting that this is a protected welcome page. But you noticed one thing. Last time I logged in with the previous password and this time password change. But when I hit the refresh button, it is showing me the data simply. Now what we are going to do is we will protect this particular thing so that it is not returning the data directly. It is at least verifying the user's credentials like that it is doing. For that, what we will do is now inside the utility package, what we will do inside the util package, create a class as JWT util. JWT util, and we can stop the server, otherwise it will restart every time. Now what this class will do, JWT utilities. Utility means the task. Utilities means the task. The task of this class is to generate the token and verify it. The task of this token is now in the util package, create a JWT util class for generating and validating token. Now this class is going to generate a token and it will be used for validation also, that if a user is sending one token, how it is valid or not. So this is a normal class. I want Spring to create its object. What annotation I should keep here? I want, see, if it is inside service, we can keep service. If it is inside repo, we can keep repo. If it is inside controller, we can keep controller. But it is in different util. Then what it is? Component. The basic is component only. So I will keep a component here. Stereotype main annotation is component only. Those controller, service, rest controller, all are like the child of this. So here I kept my class in a component so that Spring is creating its object. Now in the class, I will declare one string. What I will do, I will declare one string, that is private final string secret. So here I have made it final. Final means, what does it mean if something is final in Java? So you can keep any string here. So I am keeping Shivam secret code. So I have created a final string edge secret Shivam secret. You can keep anything here, like it doesn't matter. Now here we will create a method that is public. Now, if you want to generate the token, what is will be the data type of token? String, right? Token will be a string. So here I am creating one method, public string generate token. Public string generate token. And as of now, let's return a empty string from it so that it is not throwing error. So what we did here, public string generate token. But when it is generating the token, it will take username. Let's say if there are two user, one is Shankar and one is Shrikar, both of them will have same token? No, both of them will have different token. So here we are taking the username as a string value, which will help us to generate the token, which will be helping us to generate the tokens. Now, there is something like JWTS, and it is a class. And who provides this class? io.json web token. For the same, we have added the dependency JWTS, JSON web token, like that. Now, if you read this class, so what it says, if you are creating the object of JWTS, it will create a new instance suitable for plain text. Like that, it will do. It has one builder method. What it has? It has one builder method. This one. It has a builder method. What it does, it just build a token. Now how we will build? So when I am returning the token as a string, you can just write like this, that here I am not returning a empty string. What we are returning? JWTS. Same class, by the way, you can import it. Now I will use its builder method. What I'm using? I am using the builder method of JWTS. Now I will set some of the basic thing inside this. So at first, what I'm going to set is dot set subject. Set subject. Subject means you can say, if you are from a medical field, if you are like going into the medical field and a patient's body is coming for treatment in medical college, so the senior doctor will say this is subject now. Yes, it is true, this is subject. They will not say this is Shivam, this is Shrikar. No, they will say this is subject, because they are going to perform operation on that, so this is their subject. Same our JWT. For our JWT builder, the subject is the username. Who is the subject? Username. If you are logging with Shivam, Shivam is the username. So like that. So here we are setting the subject to the user name. Set, set issuer. Issuer means who is giving this certificate, or let's say who is giving this token. You can write anything here. If Shivam is giving token, you can write Shivam, or I will simply write Spring Boot app. That my Spring Boot app is giving it a token. To whom? To user. Who is giving? Spring Boot app. Now, I told you one thing, that token will expire also. Token will expire after some time. It means that it will count the time also. So here dot issued at what particular date it was issued. So here you can directly write the date object of Java, right? We do have date from java.util package. You can directly import it. So here I have issued the date as well. Now, when it will expire, dot set. So, set expiration. When this token is going to be expire. Now, when we are writing the expiry date of this token, so I will create same like this, new date. Now here, how to read laptop's time? So we use system for that. System dot current time in millisecond. Set expiration. What it will take? It will use the system's current time in millisecond plus 1000. Why 1000? Because it has, means 1 second means 1000 millisecond. Multiply 60. Now what is this number? 1000 millisecond multiply 60. What does it mean? How much is the validity? Sorry? If I am saying 1000 millisecond multiply 60, how many minutes are there? Or how many hours are there? The next, you guys are next level. 1000 millisecond multiply by 60. Count the second. 1000 millisecond means 1 second. Multiply by 60, multiply by 60. Now it means 60 second for 60 time. What does it mean? 60 minute. 60 minute means 1 hour. You can set it to any number. Here I am setting it that validity of the token is going to be 1 hour. So what we have settled up till now, to whom we are giving token, who is giving token, when the token was given, and same way when the token will expire. Now we will add there was something as, we'll go to website header, where you have ALG, algorithm, which algorithm you are going to use. So let's write it here. I will set, not set, sign with. Here we will say sign with, that whatever token is coming, you have to sign that token with signature algorithm. And which signature algorithm we are going to use? Dot HS256, because web token is telling us that you have to use HS256. Same we are using. So sign with signature algorithm dot 256, but it require a string value that it will be changing into a token. So that secret value I will provide here like this. That secret we will provide like this here. No, for all it is not same. You can change it. I'll come to that point. Now, sign with means whatever things you are going on will be signed like this. Here at last dot compact. Compact so that it is returning one string. So that it is returning one string. Now here we have prepared one method for generating the token like this, setting the to whom you are giving token, who is giving token, when giving token, when it will expire, by which algorithm you will secure the token, like that. Now we will create one more method, one for generating, one for validating, and that is also going to be string only. That is public string. um, so you don't know till this now, whenever a token is coming for validation, this will take the username from that token. So here extract username, method name I am keeping as extract username, and return the string. Now this is the method that we are going to use to validate the token. So at first it should accept the token as a parameter, a string of token. Now what we are going to perform in this application, same way I will return that directly, or you can store it in a string, then you can return, it will be same way. Now what we are going to use, again we are going to use the same thing, JWTS, but this time the method that we are going to use is parser method. What we are going to use? Parser method. Or and what it will do? It will be used to create an instance of that, right? So now we are going to use the parser method, which will be parsing the JWT token. So let's say here we will return the same thing, JWTS. Now we have to parse it, dot parser. We are getting this strike through line because it is written as deprecated, means they are telling you something else. So as of now, this is the newer method, but we don't use it. We use parser only. So here JWTS dot parser. Now what we will do is dot set signing key. What we have to do? Signing key. What is the signing key? We are signing with the secret, means we are providing to it that we are working on the value of secret to create the token. Now we are doing the reverse engineering. We are generating username from the token. Dot parse claims JWS. Claims JWS means user is claiming that this is my token. So you have to parse that token. Dot get body, take the body of that token. Dot get subject. Subject means the username. Subject means the username. So here we are doing this, and that's it. This method will return, or you can say this method will extract the username. Now, at last, once username is extracted, we will have public boolean. We will create one method which will tell true or false if the token is valid or not. So by default, it is false. Now, validate token means whenever a token is coming to you, you have taken out the username from it, then you are trying to validate the token. It's very simple. It will take some of the things. What it will take? It will take a string token. So whatever token you are taking, and it will take user details object. We created that user details manager whenever you are creating in memory user details. So same we are going to use here, token and the user details. So here I will say string username equals to extract username. So I will try to use the same method that just now I have created. To it I will provide the token, and now if what we have to return, a boolean value. So here I will check first. What I'm checking, username dot equals, if username is equal to user details which are stored in the database, user details dot get username. If they are equal, means it is valid, otherwise it is not valid. So 1 2 3, right? So here we have created a boolean method which will be finally giving a true and false. So this is a class which is finally going to generate the token, extract. You can write these two code in the same, by the way, or else just for your information, I have kept them apart. Now we are done with this particular part. Now what we are going to do is we will create users. So in this service, I will create a class, and the class name, here we are actually going to provide a custom username, like in memory user, you can say. So custom user details service. Custom user details service. Which annotation I should keep here? Srikar, controller or REST controller? Which annotation should I keep here? REST controller. Very good. I have created this in the service package. Even the class name is user detail service. Then also your answer is REST controller. Now, how we created last time? So inside this, you have to implement one interface. And I have already shown you that is user detail services, this one, right? Last time also we did it same way, but last time we were auto wiring it. So here this class should implement the user details service. Here this class is auto implementing the user detail service. interface. Now we have to override all their method. So just implement their method, that is user details, load user by username, like that, like that, like that. We'll just do, and we are just writing one simple thing here, that if we are writing a block of if. Here you are taking one username to check it if username dot equals admin. If username is equals to admin, if username is equal to admin, then we have to return what we have to return, user dot with username, user with username. And what is the username? Admin. Custom we are doing with dot password. Password you can say anything, but we have to encrypt the password. So new bcrypt password I will use here. Bcrypt password encoder. What we are going to use? Bcrypt password encoder, which is has one encode method, and the password that I'm going to encode is, let's say, admin123. This is our password that we are going to secure. It means that we are going to log in with this admin, and this is the password, admin123 dot roles. What are the roles of this person? This person is the admin. We did it last time or not? Dot build. So here we are returning this particular user. If this is not the case, then you have to throw a error. So here in the else block, I will throw new username not found exception, and here you can provide one message that user not found, like that you can provide. Okay, got it? So here this is the username admin, admin123. Now we are going to create a entity. In entity, I will create a class auth request, because this time, last time we were doing form login, this time no form login. We have to keep it simple. So actually we will not create database table. So here I will rename it to model, because both are same only, entity and model. Model means when you are working with data only, entity means when you are changing. So just model. And inside the auth request, I will create two things: private string username and private string password. You can generate their getter setters, but as we are using Lombok, so I'll keep data simple. Here auth request. Now, as I am creating a class, so user will send the values inside the class. Now let's come down to controller. Now we will create a login controller / login. So here at the rate of post mapping of / login. It means that user will type something to / login. Our return type is public string only. We are trying to return some string, and this is a login method. This time no form login we are doing. We are doing a JWT based login. So here public string login, as we have created the class for this particular auth request for username and password, I can use at the rate of request body, means you are requesting the data of auth request class. You are requesting the data of auth request class, which will be getting stored inside request, like this. Request body, auth request. Means whenever user is trying to do slash login, user has to send the body of this auth request. So simple. Now we will auto wire some of the classes here. So at first, I will auto wired here. What I will auto wired at first, private. Now here we are going to auto wire something as called authentication manager. Authentication manager, this one. And it is a functional interface. It means it is going to have only one method, that is authenticate method. So here I will auto wire the authentication manager, a auth manager, like this. You can import. We are going to auto wire one more thing. Auto wired. We have created one JWT util class for us to generate. Same use here. JWT util and util, like this. You can keep. So here we have auto wired these two things now. So whenever user is sending one auth, let's return one normal string, otherwise it will keep on throwing errors. Wait. Now in this login method, what is actually going to be done is, here we have to check the authentication. Authentication equals to, means we are trying to authenticate it. We are trying to authenticate it from where? Auth manager. Auth manager. And auth manager has one method, that is authenticate method. So we are just providing it like this. So simple. Now what we will do inside this authenticate, check how many things it actually takes. So authentication manager, this authentication method, this authenticate method takes the object of authentication, means you have to provide the state of a user inside this. So here you can create an object like this. Now which class is using there? So here we have username, password, authentication token. So here we have created the object of this class, that is username based, password based authentication token. Now, how we are going to generate the token? Already it will have a request. Request is coming from somewhere. So here I will say request dot get username, and second is request dot get password. Whatever user is sending to you as username and password, have to authenticate them. Now you just check. So I will check if authentication dot is authenticated, means it returns true and false. If Spring is saying that okay, with this username and with this password you are authenticated, then you have to return. What you have to return? A token. Now who is returning the token? Util class. Who is returning the token? Util class. So util dot generate token, but it takes a username. It takes one username. Username is already available in the request. So here we'll type request dot get username. But if user is not authenticated, if user is not authentication, then we will throw a new runtime exception. What you can throw? You can throw a runtime exception invalid credentials. Here we are providing invalid credentials. So like this. Mm, Runtime exception, not error exception. So like this. So what we are doing, we are trying to authenticate the user here. And here we are already having a slash welcome like this we are having. Now, if welcome is looking somewhat down, so you can keep it secure. So here it will take the secure endpoint. Now, password manager done. Everything is done in this class. Now we will apply the filters, means who can log in what like that. So we will go to jwt.filter class, and inside this you can create a class that is going to be jwt auth filter. jwt auth filter. I will make it as a component. Now I will extend something. There is something like once per request filter. Once per request filter means if a user is trying to create token two times. Now, one token per request per user. So we will extend this class here. So in the auth filter, we will just extend that class, that is once per request filter. Once per request filter. Now inside this, we have the unimplemented method for this. So we'll just implement it. That is do filter inbuilt it is. But here we are going to use, so let's auto wire them. Here what we are going to use, we are going to use the JWT util class, because that will generate the token and validate the token. Now here private custom user detail service and user detail service. This is the class also that we are going to use here. Now here you are overriding the protected void do filter internal method like that, which is taking the HTTP servlet request, giving the response and doing the filter chain like that. So now you might have remembered that filter chain already we are discussing security filter chain, right? Now inside this, I will create a string of simple like this auth header. String of auth header. Now from where it will come? Request dot get header. Request dot get header like this. Remove it. Request means it is a HTTP servlet request. Whatever user is trying to send, it will be created as a session, and that session will have request and response. So in that we are trying to create a string of auth header. Here I will provide one string that is authorization. Here I will provide one string value as authorization. Now you have to check some of the parameters. So keeping the if block. Now here we are going to check if auth header, if auth header, if the auth header is not equals to null, if the auth header is not equals to null, and security first thing, header is not null means whatever user is sending that particular values are here. And security, what is the object? filter chain. Okay, so we'll not write security. Here at first we will check if the auth header is not equals to null, and the auth header, a auth header is the request that you are going to send to localhost 8080 or wherever your part is running. If auth header is not null and the auth header starts with that, how your auth header is starting, bearer and space. So let's go to Postman, because this we can't check in browser. So we'll go to Postman, because Postman only will write that security. So I'll just show you that where you have to type the authorization and the bearer. So whenever you are making a post request, you have authorization. Inside that you will have one bearer token kind of authorization. This one. You are having bearer token. This is JWT token, by the way. So here what we are checking if the auth header is not null and the auth header is also starting with bearer and then space. So user will send the token in that way. So here you have to do that string token equals to string token equals to auth header. Auth header means whatever values are coming, dot substring 7, substring 7. Now why I am keeping 7 here? Because whenever you are sending the value, so you will send the value like this, bearer space like this. Now I am starting with 7 index because 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. 7 index are already occupied, means 0 to 6 are already occupied. Our main token is starting from 7 index. So substring method I am using to take out the token from the header like this. So string token equals to auth header dot substring 7. Same way I will take the string username also. Now who can provide us the username? JWT util. So here, because that has a method util dot extract username, and if we are providing the token to it, it will generate the username from that. It has some inbuilt method that we have written here like this, which will return the subject, and subject is nothing, it is our username. So now we have taken the username and the token. Now inside this if also I will check if username is not equals to null. If username is not null and security context holder, security security context holder means the one class, internal class, which is going to hold the all security context dot get context, take the context from it, take the authentication from it. Now if it is equals to null, then what we will do, username should not be equal to null and security context is equal to null, means now we are going to create user details equals to, now we are going to create user details. For that we are going to use the service. Which service? This one, user details service, that already we have created, user details service. Now in this class we have one loads user by username, and here we will provide the username of the user. So already we have created this class user detail service, that was custom users, where we were having this method loads username by loads user by username. So here when the authentication is going on, you have loaded the particular users by their username. Now inside this, you can check one more thing. Now inside this, we can check one more thing. That is token is valid or not. That is token is valid or not. So inside this if only, I will check if the token is valid or not. So that is util dot validate token. Util dot validate, we created that method. It will take token and user details, and it returns true and false. We have created this method. If it is returning true, means token is also valid. What we have to do, username password authentication token, auth token equals to, means we are trying to create a new token here. So that is new username password authentication token, and it will take some of the things like username and user details, but we are not going to provide them directly. So we will provide like this. Here we will provide user details. We will provide user details first. That these are our user details. Second object or second value that we are going to provide is by default null value. Third value that we are going to provide is user details dot get authorities. User details dot get authorities. Now, if this is the case which is completed, now we will be using the auth token. So here auth token. So we have created the auth token. Now what we are going to do, dot set details. We will set the details to our auth token. And what we will set here, we will set new web authentication details source, not this one. So here we will set web authentication detail source dot build details. Now what details we will build based on the request. Once the details are loaded in the context, now you just have to do the security context holder as change state. So security context holder dot get context, same we are doing there, dot get. Here I will set the authentication to auth token. Now whatever auth token is returning, true or false, it will set the state to same thing, security context holder. By checking all the auth state, it will set the same thing. So here 1, 2, and 3 if okay. So after this particular thing, you can return it. So here filter chain dot do filter dot do filter, give the request and response to it. Now what it will do, it will filter out the requests. Now let's go back, and in the config we will create the security config class. Security config class. This is going to be the same class where we kept at the rate of configuration, at the rate of enable web security. Now here we will deroute all the request, because Spring Boot will by default provide some of the security. We will bypass all that. So here we will auto wired what? Private JWT auth filter. We will use the JWT auth filter auth filter. By the way, you can write that code here also, but it will become very confusing after that. Last time we were having a method that is public security filter chain. The return type of the method was security filter chain, and method name, let's keep filter chain. I want it to be created as bean, so I will annotate it with a bean annotation. Means when I'm starting my app, it should run. Now it will take the object of HTTP security. See, last time also we created, if you want, you can copy paste the same thing from there, but I'll type it, don't worry. So it throws the exception. What it does, it throws the exception. Now you are going to use the same thing. So it will return, what it will return, HTTP dot CSRF cross site request forgery disabled. So whatever the problem was there in the CSRF, that we have disabled now, means no CSRF is going to be valid now. Then authorized HTTP request, auth, create the lambda expression by taking the object of auth. Now same way, dot request matchers, means if a request is coming to slash login, permit everyone, because everyone can try to log in, everyone can try to do login. So if, then again a request matcher, if a request is coming to this one, sorry, login, for login you have to permit all. Apart from this, if any other request is coming, dot any request dot, let's try to make it authenticated, but based on the object we will do. So any request dot authenticated dot session management. Now session is going to be managed. It is not going to supply the value directly, because we are expiring the token after some time. So it will take the session and build its lambda expression. Now here you can keep like this, session, then its anonymous function to session dot session creation policy dot session creation policy. Policy means that is you are going to create session creation policy dot stateless. Now what kind of session we are going to create? Written here only, stateless session. By default it is stateful. By default it is stateful. So here we are going to create stateless session dot add filter before. Add filter before, and here we will provide the auth filter of us that we are creating. Auth filter. Here we have to provide the user's details. So here I will create username password authentication filter. Username authentication password filter dot class dot build dot class dot build. Something error is there. Add filters before auth filter, username password authentication filter dot class dot build. There is some error. Okay, so we are providing our own auth filter. So we have to provide here the filter of Hmm, wait. We'll just check it once. JWT extend header body and session manager stateless dot add filters import JWT filter ये भी JWT filter क्या है मॉडल नहीं आ रहा है यूजर नेम पासवर्ड ऑथेंटिकेशन username password and authentication filter dot class dot does not have build method. Wait, HTTP security. Add filter before. It will take filter and then it will take a class which should extend the filter. Offset value to फिल्टर है इसमें ऑटो एयर करना ही करना पड़ेगा इस wait we are missing something. I'll just check. JWT auth filter exception authorize HTTP request auth it will take session गया ऑब्जेक्ट के साथ सेशन डॉट सेशन क्रिएशन पॉलिसी इसमें हमने साइन कर दिया सेशन क्रिएशन पॉलिसी डॉट स्टेटलेस तो लगा डॉट फिल्टर बिफोर JWT filter. Okay, there is some issue in this. HTTP then CSRF को किया डिसेबल डॉट ऑथराइज किया HTTP रिक्वेस्ट को auth किया दैट रिक्वेस्ट मैचर्स slash login dot permit all dot any request auth authenticated dot session management session dot session creation policy creation policy. Okay, then session creation policy dot stateless. Wait a minute, it is something broken. Okay, got it. Because build is the method of proper one. Sorry, I forgot. Means I missed it. So because our HTTP has the build method. So here we are trying to build the methods and still something is wrong here. So sorry, this one. Wait. We'll just check. There is some indentation error only. Code was correct. So here disable then authorized to find where our is getting over. No, that was correct only. But this method should return something. Why it is throwing error? Here, this one, this is extra. No. See, it is a itself a object only. See, this is one and this is one. Got it? That is correct only there. We have some other error. Let just check it. We just have some indentation error somewhere. So this is supposed to be here or not? Okay, got it. So here we have created the method. Now, last time also we were having one bean for authentication manager. See, it's getting late, but let's complete at least this class. So public authentication manager. So now we are going to have a authentication manager, which is going to manage all the authentications here. So we're creating a bean of authentication manager, which is going to manage the authentication. Now what it will take the authentication configurations. What it will take authentication configuration config. Now it is a case where it can throws exception. So keep it like this, that it is throwing exception and like this. Now we are just going to return something out of this method. So what we are going to return? Config dot get authentication manager. Config dot get authentication manager. So we are using some password as well. So here you can keep a password encoder bean as well, so that it is getting activated whenever we are running our code. So that is public password. Return type is like this, password encoder, because we are using it outside now. So it should have a password encoder method. Password encoder method. Now, what we are doing, return new, and we are just using bcrypt password encoder. Bcrypt password encoder, and that's it. We are using the bcrypt password encoder. Now we have done a lot of things in our project. It's a time to test it. Hope we are not having any error. Just check it once. If we are having any error, then we'll solve, no problem. Now we'll just run our main class. So let's run it. So app has started successfully and it is not generating any password. Means all sorted. Let's go to Postman now. And we will hit a post mapping. Post mapping to http colon double forward slash localhost colon 8080 slash login. And this time we have removed the form login. We have kept our own auth manager for it. If I'm trying to log in directly, so here it is telling 403 forbidden, not allowed. So what we have to do, we have to send the body, raw and JSON. This time why JSON? Because we are saying request body. We are accepting the data of a class. That class has username colon. Username is, what is the username that we kept? Admin. What is the password that we kept? Admin123. Array, you forgot. So from this, I am sending body raw JSON data, username and password like this. I will just hit the send button, and again 403 forbidden, error. So let's check what is the error. The signing key size is 96 bit, which is it is telling that our key is very small. So we will go to this. This is our key, which is becoming very small. So let's just copy paste it multiple times. Now it was internal error that our key is like very small. Let's try to send it again. And what we got? Token. Token of length 256, because we are using HS256. So this is the token that we got of length 256 size. It means that now this is going to be the token that we are going to use. So I will just copy this token and let's paste it somewhat outside. This is the token, this one, right? This is the token. Let's try to understand now. We have one secure get mapping. We have one secure get mapping like this. This one, secure, which is printing one message. You know what will happen now? If I'm trying to check the localhost colon 8080 secure, if I'm trying to check the secure page, I'm not sending any token, nothing. Send 403 forbidden. You cannot check it now. You cannot check it now. Second thing, if I am trying to check with the real values, so for that you have to do authorization. I am already login user, but again you have to do a bearer token. At first you have to type bearer like this. At first you have to type bearer, then space, only one space, then send this token. Now we will send this token like this, and now we will hit the send again. Forbidden again. Okay, some error is there. Illegal base URL character. Where? So let's restart the app. And at first we will generate one token again because it is already lost. So we will click on send, and we got one token, and this is a different token that we got this time. Copy. Now again we'll make a post request authorization here, bearer token, and JWT bearer, not this one. Spring is showing any error? No error. Bearer and then the code itself. Let's try to make the send request again. Localhost 8080 secure. Array, what happened to it? Error is in servlet, dispatcher servlet. Illegal base 64 URL character. So there is some error, but when I did a JWT bearer exception here, so what I'm doing, auth type I'm keeping as JWT bearer, where algorithm is HS256. You can also keep these many. Now this is the secret token that I'm trying to provide. And when I'm trying to provide this thing, I'll send the request and we will get 403 forbidden only. But here it is trying to match the token and then returning one error that JWT signature does not match locally, right? And it should not be trusted. It is not trusting the signature. Why it is not trusting the signature? So let's make a post request again and we will obtain a new token. So we'll just copy this, go there and paste. There is some error in the program, but we are testing it internally. We are doing the internal testing. So just send, and here again 403 forbidden. And again we will be getting the same error that it is not trusted and it is not matching. So it means that you cannot check it locally. Now we will solve the error tomorrow. It is getting so late. What is the security added here? First of all, if I'm trying to use that in my browser, localhost 8080 slash login. So whenever I'm trying to do login, It is not getting loaded in browser. Let's check our server. Our server, will start the server first. That error will solve tomorrow. We have some small error because that is showing single quote error. Now, if we check the slash login page, what it is telling that access to local host was denied. Means you have protected your page to CSRF, cross site request forgery. Your postman is working like your front end. Means in React, Angular, wherever you are writing your front end, it is working like that. But here it's not allowing it on browser because you have disabled the CSRF. It will not work like this directly. As Postman, now from front end, you will send the request. So here slash login is blocked for browser. Let's check the slash secure. That is also denied. It will not give the access to it because you have to first get the token. You can only get the token when you have a front end. And whenever we are making a send request, we are getting a token every time. Now we just have to have the login. There is some problem here. Got it. First is the get mapping to slash secure. That is the first mistake that we are doing. Bearer token. And we will provide our request again forbidden. Illegal. Okay, we'll check it tomorrow, no problem. There is somewhat smaller error somewhere. So that is how actually JWT works, right? You have to read this code at least 2-3 times that how actually it works, right? And then you will be able to understand it. I have written JWT multiple times in multiple projects. Then also getting some error. We'll sort it out tomorrow. Okay. Fine, guys. You can drop the calls now and you can leave.